Are we on Facebook instead of some YouTube live again? Hi there. Welcome back. I was already excited in my groove. Then I realized Zoom had set me up. Let me not compete with the volume over here. So there seems to be an apparent setup. Zoom had a different invite. So when I was asked to open the meeting, I kind of clicked on the wrong invite, not the correct one. So I had to delete all these ones. It's never been there. I think it's just a glitch. It's no big deal. Zoom is a fantastic app. I have no problems with them. So fabulous. All right. Good evening, sir. Good evening, madam. Welcome. Good evening, people on Facebook, people on YouTube. Again, my name is Talks W. Child, CEO of Ace Professionals. I'm bringing this information meeting to you. I welcome you all. I hope you're well. I'm going to start you off on a very, very fantastic riddle, if you're ready. Here we go. The riddle I'm starting you off today is something very, very light. It's not hard to guess. The question is, what is always in front of us, but yet we cannot see it? Mr. Daniel, Madam Ade, Madam Tosin, members of the public, please be my guests.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening. Sorry about that. We're having a Zoom problem. So I was already here, but I was on a different Zoom link. That's why you couldn't see me. So I was already on air.
Wow, great, sir.
Yeah, I've been here for a couple of minutes since before 7. Okay, no worries. Anybody has a handle on my riddle? What is always in front of us, yet we cannot see it? Mr. Daniel?
I want to try.
Have you
Our
Googled?
nose.
Have you Googled the answer?
No.
There's a 5-second rule. If you can't give us the answer, then Google and AI must have helped you.
No.
I'm just teasing.
I think is opportunity.
Opportunity.
Because it's not all opportunity we're able to see and take advantage of.
Okay, so let's put the hats out. Mr. Daniel says opportunity. We shall find out in a couple of minutes. Madam Ade, what do you say? What's in front of us? But yet we cannot see it. Madam Tosin?
Our nose.
Your nose, but you cannot see it. You can't see your nose.
It's always in front of us. Only when we focus, then we can see our nose. But when we don't focus, we will not see the nose.
Really? Well, we need to look at that one. That's a special one. Okay, so
can you see your nose?
Well, very well. It's always in my sights. My nose is quite big, so I represent the dinosaurs. So let me see what Madam Ade is saying. Apologies, I can hear, but I can't respond due to background. Okay, she's listening. Okay, so the answer is Mr. Daniel, drum roll. The answer is Mr. Daniel was close to it. Opportunity is not the answer, but the future. The future is always in front of your eyes, but you cannot see it. Because
I was even far from it.
Because you cannot, it's not always opportunity, Mr. Daniel. Some things are not opportunity. Some things can be a misfortune, but it's always still in the future. What can people do about it? But opportunity falls in the line of things also coming in forward. So thank you. Now today, good evening, everybody. We are bringing to you how to apply for sponsored jobs. This is in response to lots of people stuck in the UK, can't get jobs, and there's sponsored jobs, and they're advertising and paying for the advertisement, but yet the people who need it cannot access it. What a cliche, what a irony. Okay, so we're here. Finding the perfect sponsored job in the UK can be daunting. Here is a step-by-step guide to help you find your dream job and apply successfully. Before I start, sir, is there any word of advice, any wisdom, any nugget, golden nugget you want to share, sir, madam? Madam Ade, you can text yours. Anything you want to share before I go into it, dive into it deep? Any words of wisdom? Any Zen knowledge?
For me, I would say always be prepared for the future.
Always be prepared. Fantastic. So have that in mind, whoever it is that you're watching here, whenever you're watching this, we hope this gets you prepared for whatever is ahead of you. So always be prepared. Madam Tosin, do you have anything you want to add before we start?
I think Mr. Daniel kind of took the words right out of my mouth.
Okay.
Hello, can anybody hear me? Yes.
Yeah, I can hear you. Mr. Daniel taking the word out of your mouth. So we'll return it back into your ears. Well done. All right. Thank you. That's awesome. Mr. Daniel taking the word out of your mouth, which is Madam Tola says, plan uncertainty or plan for uncertainties when planning for the future. It's future, the things are not certain. So have a robust plan. So I'll give you an example. You could be set that you're going to do something, you're going to shop for strawberries. I'm making a very simple example. What happens if they don't have strawberries in all the stores that morning? You just got to plan for it, don't get disappointed. So it was never 100%, it was always a 50-50. Just because you're used to always getting something does not mean there could be a day where it's not out of service. So same with internet and reception in Nigeria. You might need reception and it might just play you up. So here we go. How to apply for sponsored jobs. Welcome. Where to find sponsored jobs? Online job boards. So we have Total Jobs, Indeed. We have Reed. We have Monster, lots of jobs. So we have Glassdoor, it says over here. So this is a place to start when you're job searching. I was helping someone yesterday to job search, and I typed in healthcare at Total Jobs, and I'm pleased to say within a couple of hours, I have received a whole lot of hot shortlisted healthcare jobs for me. They keep sending me notification until I unsubscribe. So that means that their system is quite active. So if you're job hunting, you should be on a couple of sites like that it will keep giving you warm leads. Does not mean you will get every job, but it increases your probabilities. Okay. Where next do you find sponsored job? Newspaper, classified ads. Do you check the newspapers? Check your local newspapers, classified ad section for a range of jobs, including sponsored ones. So they do have sponsored jobs also in the newspapers. People don't know, people don't check, people don't ask, but it's also another fantastic place to check. All right. Where do you find sponsored jobs? This is where it gets interesting, where your people skills turn up and turn out. So you go to career fairs. Now, the healthcare industry, they're very, very notorious at doing lots of career fairs for healthcare, doctors, nurses, surgeons, radiographers. They always, or radiotherapists, sorry, they always have lots of career fairs for them. So at these career fairs, lots of recruiters are there, lots of companies, lots of direct hospitals and services will be there. So you meet potential employers and they will tell you how to get through. In fact, you can even meet their HR person, the top of their HR will be there in person. So career fairs is a fantastic opportunity. They're always looking for talent to supersede whatever talent they have. This is an opportunity. I've been to several. There are lots of people getting me to it, but as a recruiter, as a headhunter, it's a different type of pool of people I'm looking for. People who are exceptional. I'm not expecting to find them all the time at the career fairs, but chances and the odds are there. There we go. Where do you find sponsored jobs? Do you network? Now, there's several networking events. Some in the UK are Black oriented, they're ethnic minority. Some are locality oriented, they're community based. Some are industry oriented. So it could be the the HR, human resource industry that's put it on. It could be the legal finance team that's put it on. It could be property investment. It could be some kinds of social skills. It could be a charity that's put it on. Networking events are fantastic opportunities to get people to basically connect with you. So you may connect with an employer and, you may not really have an interview. You may have an informal conversation and tell people generally when you're relaxed about what your goals are, what you want to do. And becomes a fantastic opportunity because the employer has no worries because they met you in your natural state. Here we go. Eligibility requirements for sponsored jobs. Now, this is where people get it wrong. Majority of people get refused, rejected because they don't meet this criteria. Qualifications. If you do not have qualification in the job that you are seeking, chances are you are not the best candidate for it. And if your employer takes you, they are risking a lot. The risk factor is quite high. But if you are qualified, the risk factor will be low, and chances you get the understanding of the job is much, much higher. English proficiency, another big calamity. People struggle with the IELTS, the CELT test, the ECTIS comparability status, all of those things. English proficiency, you need to prove that you are proficient in English because you're coming to an English-speaking country, predominantly English. They do speak Welsh, but you will be expected to communicate effectively in English. So they don't want to put the jobs at risk. They don't want to put, own up to several liabilities just because of the fact that you couldn't communicate in English. This was problems they were having in the football until I think they made it a requirement that footballers needed to start speaking a certain degree of proficiency in the language. Here we go. Salary requirements. So your job has to meet what the government sets out in that industry as a salary requirement. If the salary is lower, you won't get through. It has to meet that threshold and be above it. Then visa status. Just yesterday, I was checking. If you are coming in on a visiting visas, you are not allowed to transfer your visa into any other type of visa. So you need to check whether you are eligible from whatever you hold. Even if you don't have any visa, you need to check what types of visa you're open to. Not every visa is open to every country. There are different incentives for different countries and different visas. So you need to see where you're having pros and cons weighing towards your way. Okay, it's important. Now, what is the process? What's the process overview? You select a job and an employer. You find the right job first and foremost. Now, for your skills, you match your skills and experiences using the ATS. Okay, so you have a kind of like an artificial intelligence that basically automatically tracks talent. The ATS checks the text that you have, matches it to the job requirements, and tells you your percentage score. We covered this last week. Now, ensure that your skills experiences matches the job. You can move on to the next level. The next level is you then submit your job application to where the employer is requesting that you do, whether it's the job search engine or the company's website. Hopefully you pass this application stage and then you move on to interview process. After initial screening, the company will invite you for an assessment and an interview. All right. So hopefully you also do very well. The interview stages could be 1, could be 2, could be 3, depending on the type of job. So they could have different types of questions for you. They can have behavioral questions. They can have situational questions. They could also have just general interview questions or questions within your field that's more specific and honed. Then once you've got that, the company will give you an offer, job offer, a complete certificate of sponsorship application to make your application. So that's an endorsement. Okay. The company has endorsed you. Now, people mistake this and imagine COS is an automatic process. You may be endorsed, but if you have not met any particular, if some part of information has missed or slipped the employer, but did not miss the home office, you will be denied. So you go on after your endorsement, you submit your endorsement, you submit all the things and prove that I went through the job application, I went through submitting my application from the job offer, going to the interview process, and I got my COS, I got all of this. So showing them the timeline, if you can clearly show them this timeline, the chances they give you the job is very high, or they give you the visa is very, very high, that you followed a due process. There's nothing wrong with following a due process. Here we go. Required documents for this application. Highlights your skills and experiences in your personalized CV and cover letters. Now that's where we come into play. This is where we support you and make you stand out. Academic professional qualifications. So you need to show that you have the right qualifications. Okay, NAREC transcript is the ECTIS. That's the ECTIS basically certification showing that your results are comparable to the UK results. Certificate of professional qualification. If you're part of any professional bodies, you're meant to list these bodies. References, you put 2 professional references to support your application, and then you identify your documents. So provide certified copies of your passport and identity card. So your CV, academic profession, all the letters and everything they've given you, and your references. Now, what happens here is the Home Office will score these things. They'll look at your employment, they'll look at your job offer, they'll look at your the type of job you're doing, the salary you're earning. All of this will give you different points. So that you've got the correct job, license, employer, that will be 1, 20 marks. That you've got the right salary is another 20 marks. Okay, that you have a COS, that's also another 20 marks. So you've got 60 already. Now, if you have your English proficiency, this is a 10 mark. If you have other qualification, you get extra 10 marks. So this is how your things are weighed at the Home Office. Tips for successful application. Customize application. Customize your application based on required skills and the company's preference. So basically, do not do generic application, just apply, just apply, just apply. No, you've got to tailor your application for the employer. Research on the company to know what you want to tailor the job and to better serve your chances of being hired. Showcase your skills, highlight the most valuable skills that the company needs. Your past achievements that's relatively relevant to the company. Capture the employer's attention that way. Talk about, wherever they're lacking skills, wherever they're lacking support or experience, you'll be able to provide that as an asset. Language and tone. Avoid jargon. Use plain language in your application. Be professional yet friendly in tone. So don't include a whole lot of unnecessary jargons, which lots of people are carried away by. Waiting periods and next steps. Now, after submitting your application, be patient. It may take a month or more before you hear back from your employer. The employer will invite you for an in-person online interview. If successful, you receive an endorsement to apply for a visa. Once you receive your certificate of sponsorship, apply for a visa. This is the process. Now, resources for additional help. Government resources, you may contact the UKVI website, the NHS website, the Citizen Advisory. Job search engines, you may contact Indeed, Total Jobs, Glassdoors, Reed, Monster, Jobs, lots of it. You visa agencies, you may contact the UK Visa Immigration, Visa and Migration, First Contact Visas. All of these are opportunities you may contact. You may also contact ACE professionals, should be under the visa agencies. Not that we give visa, we're aware of it. Now, coming back to what you need to teach in the United Kingdom. If you are a teacher and you want to teach in the United Kingdom, if you qualify for EU citizenship from your parents, you will be allowed to come into the country. Now, the UK Tier 5 visa, which is a few countries are eligible for it. Again, key thing is you have 2,000 in savings, you have no dependents. You've never been to the UK before, your age is between 18 to 30, and you have no children with you. You'll be eligible for that. The one that I've talked about at length earlier is the point-based immigration system. So I'm not going to run it again because I've already gone across this and talked about how you get the points. An ancestry visa grants. So if your parents or somebody in the family tree comes from the United Kingdom and you can prove how this is, your grandfather, your grandmother, your great uncle, your great aunt, whatever it is, that will be a way for you. Planning. It's important not just to make a plan before you begin, but also to change your route. So course correct when things go wrong. The sooner you course correct, the faster you reach your goal. So today I was on the wrong Zoom, and guess what? I changed my Zoom, and I'm on the right Zoom, and we're talking to the YouTube audience. I hope this is useful. So here we see the products that we give at ACE Professionals. We've talked about a lot of things that are particularly very, very important for those applying for jobs in the United Kingdom. How do we support? Now, if you are in the education industry, you may find both our products or services or both of them quite useful. What do we know? What sets us apart? We know that employers want improved candidates, measured, reflective, constantly growing, people who notice what they've done wrong, who understand which soft skills they want to develop, who understand which hard skills they're owning and focusing on, who are realistic, who don't have ego blocking their eyes. They can see what they know and what they do not know, and they're seeing what they need to do to improve. Now, what do we do at ACE Professional? We give workshop training courses, CV services, interview skills, references, and personal statements, and more. So lots of soft skills. You have self-confidence, emotional intelligence, all the kind of things that people need to equip them for the future. So all this people skills, entrepreneurship, key confidence, happiness at work, all these kinds of soft skills that are particularly important. These things are robust, but because there's no focus in them, people put less attention and less value onto it. Are you a customer? Are your customers training? You want training and portfolio or portfolio only? So if you are our customer in the education industry and you're seeking QTS, we can support you with training you with specific types of courses that would give you a higher advantage. We're looking at behavior management, we're looking at safeguarding, we're looking at people handling, a whole lot of courses that would tell you how to behave, handle, and manage yourself. Portfolio and training. Now, if you need us to gather your portfolio, all the key things that you need to have in terms of your experiences, the evidences that you're showing for different particular criteria in gaining your QTS, which is your license to teach. Or if it's just your portfolio only, you can contact us. We have these services for you. So we'll say, go ahead and dream big and have complete faith that God will do everything possible to make your most wildest dreams manifest. Section 4, the market. So what is the process with working with us? We've told you the process of applying for a sponsored job. We've told you the process of working into the UK, basically how to get things done in terms of your portfolio, in terms of your visa, in terms of your ancestry. We've given you all the indicators. But from this information, what is your clear call to action? What are we asking you to do? We're saying to you that there is a decision-making link that you can request from us. All right. So wherever you get our things, you'll find a Google link. You could either register yourself into the Google link. Lots of people have registered for this Zoom, but they're not here. We don't know where they are. So, but the key thing they need is to get themselves a decision-making link, and we can help them make that decision. By informing them, they make an informed decision to either go forward with whatever package they may choose that may move them from A to B. Payment confirmation is what's next after we send you the link. You get your package requirements, whatever you need from us, we'll hand that to you. And soon after that, you can go job hunting, because you'll be equipped with your CV, your personal statement, your cover letter, all of it. You're going to have your references, everything will kit you up with so you can go. Right after you've gotten your job offer, your COS, you've got the next thing is to do your job application. So you've met the salary, your sponsor has a license, you've got your COS, you've got your English proficiency. Go ahead and go for it. Straight apply for your visa. So the process sounds easy if you understand what you're doing. Knowledge attracts abundance when it's organized, intelligently directed through practical plans of actions. So all of this that I've talked about today has taken me a lot of time, a lot of effort to put together. But you could imagine the work that we do behind the scenes is even more intense, is even more, mind-blowing. So if any of this kind of catches your attention and you want us to help you in your journey, your career journey, either getting a normal job, getting a higher paying job, or getting a sponsored job, you know what to do. You should request for that decision-making link and we'll be able to support you. So we've come to the end of our presentation today. We've been bang on time. I think I've done this in 35 minutes plus errors of the wrong Zoom link. Let me ask the wonderful people who are here with us, who are close, and they've given us fantastic advice. How is it for them? Mr. Daniel, how was it for you this evening, sir?
Yeah, it's wonderful. It's a wonderful presentation tonight, and I think I got a lot more, and I would like to ask one or two questions before the end of the tonight's edition.
Okay, sir. We'll take your questions shortly. Let me just find out how it went for other people, then I'll come back to questions so that I can give people a clear thought process in terms of focus. So, Madam Tosin, how was it for you? So I don't muddle the two things together.
For me, I think I liked the information. It was really clear on on how to, especially the application process overview. That actually really got me. I don't know if anybody can hear me.
We can hear you.
Okay, the submission, the selecting a job and the employer, the fact that you said you don't just make applications haphazardly and be saying, oh, you just want to make you have to tailor it to the interest of the of the employer.
Yes.
And yes, that one got me. Then the processes, basically, I think I can remember, I think up to 5 processes. You talked about selecting the job, then submitting the application, then the I think interview process,
Yes.
endorsement, and then the visa application. So all yes. It's a very clear flow chart that I really liked.
If you like it, I think I think we should put that. Yeah, we should flag that for people.
Yes,
because people don't understand what it is. People get confused about the whole thing. And nobody's teaching them on it. So I agree with that with you. Madam Ade, are you able to speak? She might not, maybe she's typing. Can you type how it was for you? Mr. Daniel, since Madam Ade cannot speak, you can go ahead to your question, sir.
Okay, thank you. So my question is coming from the area that Madam Tosin made mention of, which is that that flow. So when you were at that particular
You want to
point.
increase your volume, sir? I'm missing your voice. I'm hearing a little bit.
Okay,
But
can you hear me now?
let me increase my volume. It's fine, sir. Go ahead, please.
Okay, so my question is based on what you just discussed now concerning the flow of application.
Yeah.
So while you were presenting that particular part,
Mm.
I was seeing it as, okay, let me just go straight to my question. The question is, after you've applied for the job, you've gone through the interview and you've been employed and COS has been issued. Yeah. So, and you're about to apply for the visa.
Yeah.
Is it necessary to put together those documents you submitted for the job application? Is it necessary for you to put them together again for visa application,
Yes,
like your
it's necessary.
CV, your reference?
It's necessary. So let's imagine somebody else has your name and that person looks slightly like you and they cannot distinguish. The efforts, the certification, the narrative, the key things that you've put together to get your job, that journey is what goes to tell the Home Office beyond a doubt you are who you say you are and you're well trained for this job and you've gone through the due process. And whether or not you needed visa, they were always going to give you that job because you qualify, you've earned that particular position. So yes, anything. Let me share you a little bit of secret. I was very, very good at applying for people and applying for myself. And what made me very good was I imagined myself on the other side, that I am the one who is the case handler. And when the case handler, if a document gets in front of me, I label it. I label the evidence. I label the part of their own requirements that said I should provide this. So I label, I say, for this particular line, find evidence 1, evidence 2, evidence 3. They all match with this one. For this particular one, find evidence. So the way I work is very slow and, clear. So when they flip through, they keep seeing that, yes, this guy satisfies. This guy meets everything. They don't have to scratch their heads. They don't have to look for anything. I just provide everything bit by bit. And that way, I never get a problem with them. So I would advise you, yes, because you're coming for work. If you're coming for family, the one that you'll have to show ties to your family. You have to show that this person is your brother. You have to show pictures. You have to show birthday cakes, all of this, all of that. But in this particular instance, because it's work related and you don't have lots of relationship with your employer, but the process that you've gone through, you want to show them that when it comes to this particular job, you have it nailed down. You know what you're doing. So it's important, yes. Is there any more questions?
Yes, sir. So I have one more question.
Okay.
It is in line with what you just explained. So I want to ask that, do the Home Office have so much trust in the employers that are in UK? Do they trust them with scrutinizing their candidates? And are they so sure that they are bringing forth the best of their candidates? Are they issuing their whatever their COS to their best of candidates? And
no. So you're asking two questions. Do the Home Office trust the people working for them? Because the Home Office is responsible for recruiting those people. They have to trust them. They have to put training in place. They have to put measures. One, should, in case we're all human beings, that people can make mistakes, that people can have an oversight. They will put measures for administrative review to cover that. That's why the people have the opportunity for administrative review. But other than that, what will be the culture there, I would imagine, is that they would stand and defend everybody's decision. They would defend everybody's decision because it will show a lack of credibility and a lack of integrity once the Home Office start going against the people that they themselves have employed. It would be a bad idea. They wouldn't look good. So they understand that there are people who may get it wrong. I mean, if I have a case with PayPal or Amazon, I may be unlucky and somebody gets it wrong. But most of the time, they would expect their people to get it right because it would have been flagged. Lots of complaints would have been brought up about that person. So they must defend. They have no choice. It's a big liability to them not to defend their own worker. If your second part of your question is, are the employers bringing the best people to the UK? That is a very fluid question. People are best in different times. People can be best at the time they're applying and come to the UK and not be the best. People may be the best depending on the market at that time. By the time they get to the UK, the market might have changed. They might be not the best. So people are good, but whoever is not constantly growing and improving, you're not going to catch up. For example, somebody could be an IT expert, but if they're not getting on handle with the AI technology that is out there and understand that GPT 5 is coming out, they're not going to be the best. You know, if you may be smart, but if you don't understand green energy, you don't understand renewable energy, the future is not for you. That's just the truth. So those are the two parts of your question. I would say it's a very fluid thing to really define the best. People are getting people. The people that they're getting are capable of being the best if they put their heart to it to develop themselves. Every human being is capable of, transforming themselves, moving from carbon coal into diamond. But there has to be a lot of work. There has to be a lot of heat and pressure applied to this coal to change into diamond. Whether they can withstand that heat and pressure, it's another question entirely. So, but he who has the will get the way, definitely. All right. If there's no more questions, I really respect that time is the biggest value that we have. We can make money, we can get material things, we can lose them, but time is one thing we can never get back. So I appreciate your time more than anything. I appreciate the value of it. I understand every second you spent with me has been priceless. From my side, accept my greatest gratitude for sharing that time with me. All right. I wish you the very best in your endeavor, in your careers. I hope the people who need our help find their way to us, because we are trying to make sure that we're out there and we're in your faces and we're giving you all the best opportunities to get the help that you need. All right. God bless you. Have a very nice evening. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Madam Tosin. Thank you, Madam Ade.
Bye.
Bye-bye.